Joe Rogan calls out Douglas Murray Israel views during podcast. The debate between Douglas Murray and Dave Smith recently took place on the Joe Rogan podcast, and it was absolutely insane to see. Douglas Murray had a lot to say about Dave's take on Israel. Basically, what he was saying is Dave Smith can't judge Israel if he hasn't been there. Then, he and Dave went on a back and forth rant about whether that matters or not. Basically, it got out of hand and Joe Rogan had to chime in, and after that, things got taken to the next level. Now, Joe Rogan usually tries to be the mediator in situations like this, especially while hosting the debate on his own podcast. But it was really hard for him to disagree with Dave Smith here, because he couldn't wrap his head around the whole "can't judge if you haven't been there" comment. Douglas Murray was clowned on Joe Rogan's podcast in front of the world for supporting Israel, and this reaction is going viral all over social media. There's obviously a lot to get into with all that's going on in the industry and all of the celebrity reactions to Joe Rogan calling out Douglas Murray. But today, we'll mainly be sticking to Joe Rogan calls out Douglas Murray Israel views during podcast, because this is the talk of the town. Nobody expected Joe to actually say this. Like I said, there's a lot to get into today, so be sure to stick around and watch until the end as we get into things one detail at a time. Trust me when I say you won't want to miss a thing. Thanks for stopping by today and visiting us at the Woke Pod. We post daily woke celebrity updates and news that you really should know about if you're a fan. For more content, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to leave a like and comment keyword woke to enter our giveaway. One lucky viewer will be picked. Now, let's jump into this video and take a closer look at Joe Rogan calls out Douglas Murray. Yo, what's up internet? Let's dive into the wild ride that was the recent Joe Rogan Experience episode featuring Douglas Murray and Dave Smith. This episode has been making waves across the web, and here's why. The debate that set the internet ablaze. In episode 2303 of the Joe Rogan Experience, British author Douglas Murray and libertarian comedian Dave Smith engaged in a heated debate over sensitive topics, like the Israel-Hamas conflict and the Russian-Ukraine conflict. Murray criticized Rogan for giving a platform to individuals he deemed as conspiracy theorists, questioning the responsibility of amplifying such voices. Smith defended the open discussion format, emphasizing the importance of hearing diverse perspectives. Joe Rogan and Dave Smith, a dynamic duo. Dave Smith is no stranger to the Joe Rogan Experience. The two share a long-standing friendship, with Smith frequently appearing on the podcast to discuss libertarian viewpoints and current events. Their camaraderie adds a layer of familiarity to the podcast, making for engagement and thought-provoking conversations. Tensions rise, Murray vs. Smith. The debate between Murray and Smith was marked by sharp exchanges and contrasting viewpoints. Murray challenges the credibility of some of Rogan's guests, while Smith argued for the value of open discourse. Even with the controversial figures, the clash highlighted ongoing tension between traditional expertise and the democratization of information in the digital age. Mind-blowing Joe Rogan facts. Joe Rogan's podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, secured an exclusive licensing deal with Spotify, reportedly worth $100 million. Before his podcasting fame, Rogan was a stand-up comedian, UFC commentator, and hosted the reality show Fear Factor. Rogan is known for his diverse range of guests, from scientists and politicians to comedians and conspiracy theorists, contributing to the podcast's broad appeal. Joe Rogan's closest friends in the industry include fellow comedians and podcast hosts like Joey Diaz, Tom Segura, Bert, and Ari Shaffir. These relationships often lead to collaborative episodes filled with humor and candid discussions. Now for some crazy facts about Dave Smith, stand-up comedian. Smith gained recognition in the comedy space, being featured as new face at the Just for Laughs Festival in 2013 and performing in the New York Comedy Festival, New York's Funniest Showcase in 2014 and 2015. He hosts Part of the Problem, a libertarian podcast discussing current events, political philosophy, and co-hosts Legion of Skanks, a comedy podcast known for its unfiltered discussions. Media appearances. Smith is a regular guest on the Joe Rogan Experience, Timcast, and has appeared on Fox News programs like Kennedy and The Greg Gutfeld Show. Political involvement. When he considered running in 2024 Libertarian Party presidential primaries, Smith ultimately decided against it but remains an activist and voice in libertarian circles.